How's everybody going? This is Phil the Kaiju King from my collection room in Greater Cincinnati. In this video I'm doing a review, look at the newly released 25 centimeter Varan, crawling Varan monochrome figure. It's black and white edition. It's a pretty nice figure, and let me take a quick gander at the box first, and we'll do that right now. And here is the box for the 25 centimeter Varan monochrome figure. Of course, it has 1958 in Varan, and the movie down here in Japanese up here, top corner X Plus garage toy. It's the standard usual 25 centimeter box, white, red, and blue and gray trim with the plastic window. And on the back it has a Toho series on it. This is usually the boxes that 25 centimeters come in. Lately we've gotten some cool 25 centimeter boxes that are more akin to the 30 centimeter, like the Godzilla 99 2000 25 centimeter and the Orga come to mind. Their boxes were cardboard brown with the black and white silhouette of the figures on the front of the box, and I like those a lot better than this. I wish they would go on and switch to that and stay with that, because it's pretty cool. Alright, we will bring up the actual figure right now of Varan from the 1958 movie Varan, the Unbelievable. And let's bring him forth now. Alright everybody, I'm back, and here is the X Plus 25 centimeter Varan monochrome version, black and white edition. It's a pretty nice figure, surprisingly. I did not pre-order it, but I actually bought it from a member in the X Plus group, so thank you, John Panier. I hope I'm getting your name right, John Panier, for this purchase. It's a very smooth transaction, very quick shipment and everything, and I appreciate you selling this to me, and I'm glad I went ahead and picked it up, because it's pretty impressive actually. As far as the movie goes, I've only seen the American version. I have the American version on DVD, and I'd like to see the Japanese, but I can't really find it. If anybody knows, like, I don't think I've seen it on Amazon. I've looked. I mean, I need one that'll play here and on a US player, and I think I've seen Region 2s, but I just would like to see the Japanese version. But the DVD I have only plays it's only the American version. But I heard there's quite a bit of difference in them, so I would like to see the Japanese version. But at any rate, the movie Synopsis is the American military is teaming up with the Japanese military, and they're doing water purifying testing in a lake in Japan. And there is natives, and it's on an island, and these natives are warning them and trying to stop them, and they keep telling them that Obaki, I think it's Obaki, Obaki, will wreak havoc on them if they don't stop. And there's continual threats of this their god Obaki, and it happens to be that their god Obaki is Varan. So it's just weird that they never call him Varan in the American version. I'm guessing they do in the Japanese version. I'm not for sure, but it's a pretty good film. They drop all these bomb canisters in the lake with this solution that's supposed to purify the water, and all of them going off awakens Varan. He's in a sleep in the bottom of the lake, and he commences to wreak havoc on the island people and just cause all kinds of trouble. And then he leaves the island, goes to the mainland of Japan, and they finally stop him with those bombs, the water purifying chemical. It hurts him, and they weaken him with them, and then he's fighting the military on the shoreline in Japan, and he finally goes back into the ocean. And at the end of the movie they said, is he dead? And they say, well, from what we can tell, he is dying. So to me, they kind of left it open that he was dead or not. And Varan is in Destroy All Monsters in 1968. And I think he's in Godzilla's Revenge in 1969. And I don't know if he's in any more movies or not after that. I don't think he is. I know he's in Destroy All Monsters like a cameo, and I think he's in Godzilla's Revenge maybe as a quick cameo, but he's not in a lot of movies. He was supposed to be in some other movies from what I understood, but I think he was supposed to be in GMK, but they changed it and put Varan in, I think, was the change there, but I'm not sure. If you know the correct answer, let me know. But it's a pretty good film. He's a uniquely designed kaiju. I like his design. Pretty cool. As far as this figure goes, his footprint isn't real desperately big because he is only a 25 centimeter figure. He's probably about a foot long, maybe a tad over. Not too bad. His tail goes pretty much straight down, touches, and then goes straight up and back. His tail has the spikes that start at almost the tip of his tail. They're small. They go all the way down his tail to his back, and they get larger as they go. These on this figure, they appear to be translucent vinyl. So I don't know. They probably could have made a light up out of this because I don't recall Varan lit up. I think he did, but I'm not sure. But they are definitely translucent. If you hold it up to a light, you can see that light passes through, so that's pretty cool. But the tail is nicely sculpted. All of Varan's skin, his upper shell here, is all real bumpy, textured skin on the suit, and it's very similar and accurate to the suit, in my opinion. I watched the movie before I did this video, and very, very nicely done, all up and down the tail, all on the side, either side of his spikes on his back, and it's very nicely textured skin. That's the texture of his upper body skin. He's all smooth on the bottom, of course, but this is kind of like a shell on his back. But in the movie, the suit, it moves around a lot, but it kind of looks like a shell almost. But he's really unique design. But yeah, on his back, both sides, his skin is a bump textured skin. That's prevalent on the suit and this figure. Of course, on his back are his long spikes sticking up. They're longer than his tail, of course. Go all the way down the middle of his back, and then there's a breach in him right here up toward the top of his back at his neck. And I noticed in the movie that is in the movie as well. There is a little breach of the spikes between his neck and his head, or his neck and his back. Very nicely done, though. I watched the movie and I did notice that on my size comparisons, you'll see that the other Varan, the crawler, I think they go all the way, pretty much. As far as his crawling position, both his back legs, his feet are on the ground, his toes are on the ground, his heels are up. His front two paws are flat on the ground, and his both feet, front and back, are five-toed. And his toenails are nicely done on both front and back, and they are a dull gray color. I guess it signifies the black and white of the film, but it's nicely done anyway. On the side of his legs, right here, it starts at his legs and it runs up to his side and up to his front legs, is a flap of skin on both sides of his body. And what that is that's how he flies. He'll spread that out, and he's kind of like a squirrel, a flying squirrel. He has a skin membrane that comes out and he can fly. So that's what all these wrinkles are on the sides of his body and his legs and his front legs. You can see it hanging down on the side of his body. It's that mimics the skin membrane. When he expands his front legs out, it stretches and he can fly. It's pretty cool. On his face I think is very accurate to the film. I think it's real accurate to the movie. He has 3 spikes on either side of the back of his face. His teeth are nicely individually sculpted. They are dull gray, black and white, monochrome type, of course. Nice bumpy texture on his face for skin detail. His eyes are black. I'm sorry, his eyes are white, solid white with a black pupil. Pretty much looking straightforward. Very nicely done figure. But it's pretty impressive, really, this figure. I'm really glad I ended up grabbing it. It's pretty cool. Alright, we'll do some quick size comparisons, and let's do that right now. Alright everybody, I'm back. This is the 30 centimeter favorite sculptors line crawling Varan with my 25 centimeter monochrome version crawling Varan. And honestly, these two aren't that off in size, really. That Varan is bigger, but to me, he's small for a 30 centimeter. I think the black and white one has definitely some stuff that's more accurate as far as the wrinkles on the side of his body for the flying, for the membrane. It's a lot more better sculpted and detailed on the 25 centimeter, in my opinion. The spikes on his tail, I think, are more accurately laid out, and they're pretty evenly laid out. And compared to the FSL, I think that is this is more accurate in that regard. The skin sculpting is more accurate even on the 25 centimeter because it's more of a bumpy texture, and this has some more elongated. It's bumpy, but it's more elongated, not as much round on the FSL. And the suit looked like, to me, more accurate to this sculpt right here, in my opinion, in the movie. But also on this Varan, both of their faces to me are pretty close to what the Varan was in the film, as far as its size and everything. And the FSL Varan, his eyes are looking upward, like he's seeing some jets flying over or something. Whereas the 25 centimeter, his eyes are pretty much straight on. But these are both really nicely done sculpts. And this favorite FSL Varan favorite sculptors line is the Rick. It came with the statue, the god statue that the natives on the island prayed to. It's pretty cool. Pretty neat, pretty accurate to the movie, this statue. It's nicely done. Alright, we'll do one more quick size comparison and we'll go right to that right now. Alright everybody, I'm back. Here is the 30 centimeter original release Varan, and mine is a really bad leaner. He wants to fall over like all the time, so I'm going to hold on to his tail here. But as far as these two in comparison, the 25 centimeters sculpting and details and everything are a lot more impressive than this standing Varan. I do have an affinity for this standing Varan just because when you first see Varan in the movie, he is standing like this. He is standing. So that is a pretty cool thing. And then later on in the movie, he stands up a couple more times. So he's, to me, standing up almost as much as crawling. So that's why I do like this figure. I wish they would redo him in the standing position. Another 30 centimeter different pose or something, and one that doesn't want to fall over all the time, because mine has fell over before more than one occasion. But the sculpt isn't terrible. It's just not as high quality as the 25 centimeter. The tail spikes look very akin to the 25 compared to that FSL Varan, so that's pretty good. And to me, this 30 centimeter, his face is a lot wider, and the nose and just overall wider than the suit was in the film. It just looks wider to me. His face in the movie wasn't that wide compared to like the 25 or that favorite sculptor line Varan. They're both more accurate as face sculpts, as the width of the face and everything. But this is, I do like this Varan because he's a standing position, and he does that multiple times in the film. And also he has the break and the spikes just like the crawling 25 centimeter here. He has the break in him, and I believe on this FSL brand, there's no break in the spikes from the back to the neck. And in the movie, I'm pretty sure I noticed that there is a break in the suit from the spikes on the back to the spikes on the neck. As you can see there, the spikes just are continuous. But on the 25 centimeter, there is a spot there where there's no spikes, and that's also on the 30. So there are some accuracies on all the figures to the movie, but the one that's overall most accurate in my view is this newly released 25 centimeter Varan, and I do like its monochrome because the movie's in black and white, so that's pretty cool. Alright, I'll go on and move on to some final thoughts on this figure, and we will do that right now. Alright everybody, I'm back. Final thoughts on this figure. It's a really good figure. If I was going to rate it, I'd say 4 out of 5 for sure. There is some noticeable seams on it around the neck here where the head attaches. Pretty noticeable seam. And that's really the most noticeable seam. There's a seam where the tail goes on, but right, well, that's kind of normal. There's also one right here about a third of the way back his tail. There's a big seam that goes around. It's kind of noticeable, but the one around the neck and head is around the neck, base of the neck is pretty noticeable, especially on top. On the bottom, not so much, but on top it is. So, but other than that, I mean, it's a pretty good figure. Pretty nice rendition of Varan. Like I said, overall, this is the most accurate Varan, followed by the FSL 30 centimeter crawling Varan. Them two are pretty accurate to the movie, except for those that opening between the spikes here. I noticed in the movie that there was a spot on between the neck and the back of the spikes on the back. There was a spot there where there were no spikes on the suit, and on that FSL Varan there's no opening there. So, but other than that, it's a really good sculpt too. But I do, like I said, I love the original 30 because of his walking position. I kind of wish they'd redo another walker 30 centimeter different pose, but one that doesn't fall over, because mine really has been a leaner and a fall over multiple times. So I would recommend this figure if you don't have it, and even if it's available. I'm not really sure if it's openly available on Hobby Search or anything, but it is a nice figure. Nicely done by X Plus once again. I will bring the camera closer to do a close-up of this guy, and I want to thank everybody for their time and attention. And this is still the Kaiju King from my collection room in Greater Cincinnati, and you all have a very wonderful day.